So hi, welcome to our vlog series called Why Answers Are Not Always the Answer. In these vlogs we're going to talk about a difficult question. Market research, as we know, is mostly based on asking people to answer direct questions and then introspect on their experience and tell us about what they think. And most people are aware now of behavioural economics that's come along and said, well, actually there's kind of two systems here. There's a system one, which is the fast, intuitive, quick system, and there's system two, which is the slow, deliberative, conscious system. And the problem is that this gives us quite an uncomfortable truth. And the uncomfortable truth is that people aren't always aware of their behaviour. So if we ask them direct questions, in focus groups, in surveys, on groups that we can put together, on communities, they may not always know the answer or be able to tell us the answer. I'm going to take you through some of the reasons why this is the case over the next couple of vlogs. So we put this together as a way to describe how and why these things happen. So the first reason we're going to talk about addresses a rather interesting topic, which is modern art. Not the one that you think would be automatically associated with market research, but bear with me. So I'm going to talk about these two guys. These two guys are called Vitaly Komar and Alexei Melamid. They were born in Russia. They're conceptual artists who work in America. And because they're conceptual artists, they sort of have a problem trying to get people to understand their work. People don't necessarily like it that much. I mean, they've been quite successful, but it's quite niche. So they came up with this really, really good idea. And the idea was, why didn't they just ask people what art they liked, what paintings they enjoyed? And if they can ask people and find out what paintings they enjoyed, maybe they'd be able to paint them, and then they'd be the ones that would sell, they'd be successful, it would be great. It's also kind of about sort of conceptualization of art as a commercial property as well. So, that's one, but it was a good piece of work. They thought, we'll go and do it. So in 1999, that's exactly what they went and did. They got a whole bunch of questions together, and they created this book called Painting by Numbers. And they asked people all across the world in places as diverse as Kenya, Russia, Finland, Denmark, Turkey, all over Europe and in America. And they asked people about what they wanted to see in their paintings. They asked about the settings, where it should be set. They asked about the colours and the brushstrokes and the kind of style of painting that people liked. So let's have a look at what the different countries asked for when they were asked what paintings they liked. This is America's favourite painting. As you can see, it's a nice pastoral scene, it's got great colours, it's mellow, it's nice, it's sort of, what you might expect. But not exactly challenging. Okay, so that's America. Let's pick a different country. Let's pick somewhere that's slightly more diverse. Let's go for Kenya. Oh, and Kenya came up with very much the same picture America did with. There's kind of a different animal in there, there's a few different characters, but pretty much it's the same painting. Okay, what about somewhere very different again, like China? And China came up with the same thing. And this is Finland. And they all kind of have their own little quirks. But basically, they all came up, this is Turkey, they all came up with the same picture. And if you look at them all, they're all pretty much identical. So what went on? What happened? Well, Komar and Melamid came up with lots of theories as to why this was the case. It was something to do with like Hallmark cards being ubiquitous and people recognizing them and seeing them and just being able to report back what they were sort of saw a lot of. But actually, as a psychologist, I sort of know what was going on. And the basic problem is that people just are not very good at describing what goes on. They can report, people can ask, you can ask people and they saw it, they could tell you what art they liked and didn't like. But when they try and introspect on an experience, and then suddenly start to sort of, without any context, abstractly talk about what they've come up with, they're basically going to come up with the answer which is the most kind of art that they've seen anywhere, and what they learned from an early age what is art, and that was a painting of a landscape. And this is what people reported. And this, of course, doesn't in any way represent what art people actually like. So maybe if they'd given people a diverse range of pictures to say, this is what there is, do you like this one, do that one, they still would have got a more diverse answer. But from a psychological perspective, we're actually okay being able to tell people what we do and don't like. The problem comes when we try and tell people why we do and don't like it, simply because we just aren't aware of those forces in our brain that cause us to actually like or dislike something. This is why we've built our technology around VR and AR, so we can immerse people in big contexts and understand their behavior, so that we actually can put them, please check out our webpage, you can see more about what we do. But just take away from this that just because people say something, it doesn't necessarily mean it represents what actually motivates them, because quite a lot of what motivates people is just not aware to our conscious mind. Click to subscribe. Thank you very much.